Limited supply and demand growth. What would happen if you knew that something extremely valuable was about to run out forever? Bitcoin has a limited supply of only 21 million units. This scarcity characteristic is what sets Bitcoin apart from any traditional currency. In the financial world, something limited and desirable often gains value. Imagine, for example, the increase in the price of gold in times of economic crisis. The same principle applies to Bitcoin. As more people understand and value this digital scarcity, demand increases, potentially driving its price to unimaginable levels. And if the rush for Bitcoins intensifies, how long will it take for this scarcity to trigger a dramatic increase in the cryptocurrency's value? But why can the growth in demand for Bitcoin really explode? Think of the large financial institutions and investment funds that are starting to see Bitcoin not just as a fad, but as a true store of value. Each time an institution buys a sizable slice of Bitcoin, the supply available in the market decreases, putting upward pressure on the price. If you think you've seen Bitcoin grow, get ready for the next chapter. Enjoyed this content? Then don't miss out on the other videos on my channel. I'm sure you'll find something that catches your interest. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you'll stay updated with all the new content and help the channel grow even more. I'm counting on you. We are just at the beginning of a story that could turn Bitcoin into an indispensable asset for global portfolios. And when demand significantly outstrips supply, what will it take to halt its meteoric rise? Hyperinflation and devaluation of fiat currencies. Imagine waking up one day and finding that your money has lost almost all of its value. This is the apocalyptic scenario that hyperinflation brings. A rapid and uncontrollable loss of purchasing power in traditional currencies. In such times of crisis, where conventional assets fail, Bitcoin emerges as a tempting alternative. Unlike fiat currencies, which can be printed at will by central banks, Bitcoin offers a fixed and immutable amount. As the demand for a safe haven increases, Bitcoin's valuation could follow a dizzying path. Are we heading towards a scenario where Bitcoin will become the last line of defense against the destruction of the value of traditional currencies? But the devaluation of fiat currencies doesn't have to be drastic for Bitcoin to shine. Even with moderate inflation, investors are looking for alternatives to preserve their purchasing power. What many don't realize is that inflation quietly erodes wealth, year after year. In this context, Bitcoin can not only protect, but also multiply the wealth of those who understand its proposal. As more people become aware of the dangers of inflation, will Bitcoin become the obvious choice for those seeking financial stability in an uncertain world? Widespread acceptance and institutional use. What would happen if Bitcoin was accepted as a means of payment by all major companies in the world? We are witnessing a seismic shift in the perception of cryptocurrencies, with giants such as Tesla, PayPal, and Square leading the way in accepting or investing in Bitcoin. With each new adoption, Bitcoin's legitimacy as a currency and store of value grows exponentially. Imagine a near future where buying a house, a car, or even a coffee with Bitcoin becomes routine. What would this mean for the value of cryptocurrency? If global acceptance becomes a reality, how far could the price of Bitcoin go? And it's not just companies that are changing the game. The institutional adoption of Bitcoin as a way to diversify investments is a factor that could completely transform the market. Think of the pension funds, insurance companies, and central banks that are currently exploring Bitcoin as a strategic asset. If these financial giants decide to bet big on cryptocurrency, we could witness an unprecedented avalanche of demand. And with this demand, the price of Bitcoin could reach heights never before imagined. How far are we from an inflection point where institutional adoption makes Bitcoin indispensable? Macroeconomic and political factors. Imagine a world where the global economy is in chaos, with unstable markets and political uncertainty around every corner. At times like these, investors traditionally flock to gold. But what if the new safe haven becomes Bitcoin? History has shown that in times of crisis, people look for assets that maintain their value or even increase it. Bitcoin, with its limited supply and transparency, presents a unique proposition for stability in a sea of uncertainty. How will the next economic downturn shake the perception of Bitcoin as a safe haven asset? Could a global recession be the catalyst for Bitcoin to reach never-before-seen highs? In addition, central banks' monetary policies play a crucial role in the perceived value of currencies. With central banks printing trillions in response to economic downturns, the value of traditional currencies is at risk. Bitcoin, for its part, operates outside of this inflationary system, offering a decentralized and manipulation-resistant alternative. What if investors start to see Bitcoin as a hedge against reckless monetary policies? What would this mean for its value and for the global financial system as a whole? Market narratives and speculation. Narratives are powerful. In the financial market, they can make or break fortunes. The idea that Bitcoin could be worth $52 million is one such narrative that, while it sounds fantastic, attracts the attention of many. Narratives like this create a market psychology that can trigger collective buying or selling behaviors. Imagine the impact of a widespread belief that Bitcoin is destined to achieve such value. This could create an unbridled rush to accumulate Bitcoins, driving the price to stratospheric levels. But what really supports this narrative, and how far can it take Bitcoin's price? On the other hand, the cryptocurrency market is famous for its volatility and speculation. Large price swings can occur based on rumors, tweets, or even movements by large investors. Speculation can inflate the value of Bitcoin, creating bubbles that eventually burst. However, each cycle of speculation can also attract more attention and adoption. What if the next wave of speculation not only inflates the price, but also solidifies Bitcoin as a world reserve asset? How can speculative forces influence Bitcoin's long-term fate? Network effects and technological innovation. Have you ever thought about what happens when something becomes so popular that everyone feels the need to be a part of it? That's the network effect, and Bitcoin is in the middle of this phenomenon. As more people buy, hold, and transact with Bitcoin, the value of the network as a whole increases. Every new user adds value to Bitcoin, not only in terms of capital, but also in terms of trust and utility. What could happen when the network effect reaches a point where Bitcoin becomes indispensable for global transactions? Could this effect push Bitcoin to its maximum upside potential? And then there's the technological innovation. Bitcoin started as a simple digital currency, but the technology behind it continues to evolve. With improvements like the Lightning Network for faster and cheaper transactions and other scalability solutions, Bitcoin is becoming more useful and efficient. The more robust the technology, the greater the confidence of investors and users. Imagine a future where Bitcoin's technology is so advanced that it becomes an essential part of the global financial infrastructure. How much could Bitcoin be worth in a world where it is both a currency and a platform for technological innovation?